When using the real steel swords, part 2 video here, you'll notice that the sword's hilts are a little weird. So we do have a left and a right hilt. Make sure that you know which is which. There are grips right here. Those are meant for your fingers to go in, but remember the steel is going to have far less give than anything else. This is a hilt guard. It's going to protect your hands from getting sliced. The blade itself is dulled on the edges, but you'll notice it is not flat. It's more of a pyramid shape. This is called an epifoil. It is used in fencing. It is a modern blade. It has been dulled at the edges. It has been dulled and capped at the end with some lead, but it can still injure a person. It is still made of real metal, so it is important to still remain safe as we use this. Never point it at a person's eyes, never point it at a person's face. We only generally use these and utilize them if we are being safe. If we ever do not use them that way, then our privileges are immediately revoked, and this is also why we always practice with wooden dowels until we are absolutely certain that we are doing all of the moves correctly. It is important we go slow and we learn technique before we ever put a real sword in our hands, and that we never want to add speed before we have accuracy. Accuracy is so much more important than speed. So, proper grip. You want to make sure that you it almost looks like a little bit like a gun, so that's almost kind of how you have to think about grabbing it. You lace your 3 bottom fingers underneath the handle part of it, letting your pinky finger kind of be free flowing, just like I talked about before with your grip. You're going to let the longest part of it run along your palm with your extended pointer finger going up and around and under or on top, depending on which one you find more comfortable, the hilt of the hilt guard. From there, your thumb is going to wrap under the grip right there and then hold on to the handle. From there, that is kind of the basic grip. When you are doing, the only difference here is that when you are doing a flourish, you have to reduce your grip because it is a steel sword and that there's more weight to it. So can you go ahead and demonstrate kind of how you have to reduce your grip for a flourish? Yeah, so your grip has to be pretty much reduced to those 3 fingers and around. Good. All right. And then the last thing I want to talk about is just proper distance. I don't have another steel sword on me, but when you are testing proper distance with another opponent, it is important that you kind of make sure that your sword is sort of pointed at your opponent's eyes, that you have the proper form, that your swords are making an X in front of you, that they're not too high. You don't want like a too steep X. You don't want a too flat X. So you want just a regular X with both of your points pointing at each other's eyes. You can test this to make sure that you are both good by making sure that you can do your block by just taking 1 step forward and being able to make contact. You also, one move that we didn't cover but is in the routine is just a basic tap, which can just test your grip strength, whether you are holding tight enough, because if the sword flies out of your hand, then you aren't quite holding tight enough to your sword. All right.